Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. This is Laura with Untitled Typewriters. So glad that you are here and you're watching our videos, and I hope you find them helpful. Today we're going to take a look at a 1963 Olympia SM5. Beautiful machine, and this one is extra special because it has cursive font, which is highly sought after. So the Olympia SM5, this particular model, only comes in this color scheme, the cream with the turquoise accents, which I love. Some of them kind of have this vintage yellow tint to it because over time it has beautifully and naturally yellowed a little bit. And each time we get an SM5, it's beautiful. It's so fun to see how the finish has altered over the ages. And so you can see down here, probably if you get it in person, it's a little bit darker, maybe a little bit more yellow here versus up here, probably where the sun has hit it a little bit more. And to me, it makes it perfect. It's just a very sweet looking typewriter. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to show you how to use this. Right here is your carriage, and this is where you're going to insert your paper. If you've never used a typewriter before. Now, Olympias are excellent writing machines. They're definitely a step above the Royals, Underwoods, Smith Coronas. Really, if you're looking for a workhorse, the Olympias are what you're going to want to look into. So what you do is you're going to have to set your margins before you get going. And then if you want to use tabs, which this is your tab key down here, you're going to need to set your tabs before you get started as well. And they are located on the back of the typewriter. So I'm going to flip this typewriter up and show you where it is. Now, obviously, when you're at home, you don't need to flip the typewriter up. I don't recommend it. But so I can show you. I'm going to do it. Okay. So here's your tabs, and you just press and drag. Okay. Same thing with your margins. And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tab stops. Margins are right here. Press and drag. It's just a little awkward at this angle, but they drag very easily. There's a ruler here if you need it, but that's where you set your margins and your tabs. Okay, let me set this back down. This is considered a portable typewriter. Now it is, in my opinion, now it comes with a case with a handle, really nice case, so it is portable. But if you want something that you're going to be schlepping around a lot, I recommend going with something even smaller, because the Olympias are a heavier typewriter just because mechanically they're just a much more sound typewriter, and so they're just heavier. Okay, this is your paper release, which helps you adjust your paper if it's crooked. Your carriage release is right here. So you press down and move your carriage, and your carriage is going to move however far you have your margins set. Your paper guide, that just kind of helps you guide your paper in straight. If you have a smaller paper like an envelope, you just move that in, and that helps with that. Over here on the left side, and this is your line selector. So when you hit your return handle, it's going to advance either 1, 2, or 3 lines, depending on how you have that set. Down here on the left side is another silver lever, and this is your carriage lock. So if you're going to be transporting your your typewriter, I recommend locking your carriage. So you flip that up, and if you just tap the carriage, it should lock right into place. And that way, like if you push down on the carriage lock, it's not going to do anything. It's stuck in there. So if you do ever get an Olympia, if you don't have one yet, and you take it out of its case and you're like, I can't get anything to move, check your carriage lock. Just flip that down, and now your carriage is nice and loose. Okay? Let's go ahead, and I'm going to move the carriage over to the left, and we're going to pop the top open. And inside you'll see the ribbon. We've installed a new universal ribbon for you. This does take a universal ribbon, and you can get extra ribbons on our website at untitled.typewriters.com. Now this has a spring-loaded arm on each side, so that when you need to take it out, you just pull that arm back and pop the ribbon spool out. Now this ribbon spool is short, but there's a lot of ink in there, so it's going to last a long time. And what happens is as you're typing, you're going to get to the end of the spool, and then you need to reverse the direction of the spool. Now, I know we're so used to notifications. That's just what we have lived with for a long time now. There are no notifications to let you know that your spool needs to be reversed. So what you need to do is just pay attention. If your font starts getting faint, stop immediately and reverse the direction of your ribbon. Also, if you're typing and it feels odd, it feels stiff, or it stops typing altogether, that means your ribbon needs to be reversed. And you do that right here. It's just a simple tug or push. And you can do it on either side, it doesn't matter. And you should be able to reverse the direction of this ribbon literally dozens of times. I use the same ribbon and I probably reverse the direction at least 50 times or more before I need to replace my ribbon. So that is probably the most important tip I can give you when people contact us or are frustrated with their typewriter. 90% of the time it has to do with reversing the direction of the ribbon. So if anything's wrong with your typewriter, don't panic. Stop, check, make sure your ribbon is threaded properly. There is an up-close photo of this on our product listing site. The link is in the description below. Refer to that. That's always going to be there even if this is sold. And make sure it's threaded properly, black on top, red on bottom, and then make sure the spool is going in the right direction. Okay, let's keep going. Also, when you turn the handle, you'll hear the clicks, and that is a half a line. It clicks every half line. But sometimes your paper is not lined up just right, and you need to fine tune it. So if you press this button in that's on the right side, press it in while turning the handle, and you'll probably need both your hands for this. It releases, and you have to press it in pretty far, but it releases the roller, okay? Also, oh, nope, sometimes they have a little lever right there. Okay, let's go ahead and do our typing demo. Okay, before I insert the paper, I just want to point out, I forgot to show you, this is your color selector. So black on top, red on bottom. The white in the middle means stencil. You will never use that. Just make sure your lever is not stuck on the middle white selector because your typewriter is not going to type. So if it's, again, if you're having some issues with typing, check your ribbon and then check your color selector to make sure it's firmly on red or black. Okay, let's go ahead and insert our paper. And I am going to move this forward. There you go. And I'm just going to, whoops, that one's got stuff on it. So what's that one? Let's try again. So the paper goes right here. And you don't need to shove it down. I'm going to move this all the way out. You just set it there and then turn the handle. Make sure you pull the bar up and bring that paper underneath the bar and then set the bar down. I like to bring it halfway just to make sure my paper is even, which it is. However, if the paper threaded and it wasn't even, you just pull this lever forward. This is your paper release, and then you can adjust your paper easily. And then make sure it's nice and even. Re-engage it. So always make sure you re-engage that, and then you can start typing. So I'm going to double check my margins. I like narrow margins for the typing demos just so you can hear the bell. So this is a 1963 Olympia SM5. And I don't know if you can see that. Such a pretty cursive font. Okay, so now let's test out each of these keys. And I love the Olympia keys. Are just really firm. Oops. Let me do that. Oh, hold on. There we go. So that's That's the lever I was looking for earlier. On this line selector, this particular one, if you push it all the way to the top, it releases the carriage, which is actually a lot easier than pressing in the button, in my opinion, because you don't have to hold on to the carriage. So the dot, I don't know if you can see that, is the carriage release, so, or the roller release. So it releases the roller, and then the single lever is 1, 2, and 3 lines. Where was I? Oh, let's do the caps. Oops, and if you hit 2 at once, not a big deal. So these bounce back so nice, which is what I love to see. They have a foot, which means you can type quickly on it. Now, for those with smaller hands and those new to typewriting, it's going to be an adjustment, because with we're so used to computers where you barely touch. Typewriters take a lot of, it actually takes finger strength, and you're going to have to build up the strength in your fingers, especially with these Olympias. You have to press down pretty hard. Not hard, but you have to press down pretty far. So you may be 1 fingering it or 2 fingering it for a while until you build up your finger strength. And hitting 2 keys at once is normal. Not recommended, but it happens, especially as you're getting used to typewriters. I can't see my hands, so that's why I'm doing it. Oh, that's pretty. Now, it's going to look really weird in the all caps, because cursive in all caps just, it's not supposed to be that way. The quick brown, what did I say? Fox Jones. Over there. And for those of you who don't know, we use the quick brown fox line because it uses every letter in the alphabet, in case you didn't know that. There's the bell. So when you hear the bell, that tells you to hit the return handle through the house. And there's that bell again. Now, let's say you were in the middle of a word and that bell goes off. Okay, so now it's going to just stop on you, and you can't do anything. You can't type, and don't worry, there is a margin release key right here. You just hit that. It releases that margin, so now you can keep typing. But then go ahead and go to the next line. So a lot of the people who watch my videos are new to typewriters, and so I try to think of all the things that you guys would ask. And so this is in response to a question I had this last week, someone thought their typewriter was broken because they didn't understand how margins worked, which it's okay. If you've never done it, it's okay. Just if you're new to typewriters, please, before you type on it, watch the videos, watch as many videos as you can for your type of typewriter before you start typing on it. It will save you a lot of frustration, and you'll learn how to use it. Okay, so this is gorgeous. I'm going to take a photo of this and upload it to our product listing site. You can check out the photos for these again with the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. You'll have a great day.